بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Assalamu alaikum, dear student. Today, today is the first video of the this channel, which is related to the meningitis. So, meningitis is basically the inflammation of the protective membrane, that is meninges, which covering the brain and spinal cord. Meningitis can occur when any fluid surrounding the meninges become infected or inflamed. ठीक है, the main cause of the meningitis is basically the infection. It is one of the life-threatening condition because inflammation occur in the brain and spinal cord, which is a very vital organ. So it is some kind of it is a sort of some medical emergency. Before going further, we should understand what is meninges. Meninges, basically there are three membranes which covering the entire central nervous system. Among them is dura mater. Dura means heart. So this matter is just beneath the skull. After this, there is two inner deep layer which called as arachnoid matter and pia matter. And there is a space between these two arachnoid and pia matter called as subarachnoid spaces. This subarachnoid space contain cerebrospinal fluid which provides the support and nutrients to the brain cells. If inflammation occur in the dura mater, it is called as patchy meningitis, which is very rare. However, the term meningitis is medically applied to the leptomeningitis because arachnoid and pia mater both are delicate membranes and they are also called as leptomeninges. This is the picture, and you can see that this is a dura mater, and this is the arachnoid matter, and this is the pia mater. And this three layers, this is more clear in this picture. This is the skull bone, and this is the harder dura mater which cover the brain and protect the brain. Then there is a delicate membrane, arachnoid matter and pia mater. In between this two layer, there is a cerebrospinal fluid which provide a nutrition and support to the whole central nervous system, including spinal cord. What is the difference between meningitis and encephalitis? So the main difference is that meningitis is the inflammation of the protective outer membrane, while the encephalitis is the acute inflammation of the brain parenchyma when the inflammation goes downward and the whole brain parenchyma is become inflamed. Then the term is called as encephalitis. The reasons are different. Mostly in case of encephalitis, the reasons are viral, while in case of meningitis, there are several reasons. Symptoms are more or less same. However, in case of encephalitis, there are more neurological signs, more confusion, more disorientation, and more seizures as compared to meningitis. As far as causes are concerned, these causes are lead to the different types of meningitis. So we have bacterial meningitis, viral meningitis, fungal meningitis, or parasitic or protozoal meningitis. Meningitis due to any injury, which is also called as non-infectious meningitis. Meningitis in infectious meningitis, cancer, and use of certain drugs through intrathecal route is also included. Whatever the reason behind it, it will change the complete treatment plan of the patient. In case of bacterial meningitis, there are several bacteria which are involved to cause this type of meningitis, and among them Haemophilus influenza, Listeria monocytogenes, and meningococcus are most common. However, beside these pneumococcus, group A, streptococcus, and group B, streptococcus also has an ability to produce bacterial meningitis. Bacterial meningitis can easily occur in premature babies, in older children, in adults, as well as in elderly patients. Depending upon the age, different age group different infection can lead to different types of meningitis as explained in this picture. Hemophilus influenza meningitis is mostly occur in children and it is occur up from 6 months to 4 years. It is a gram negative aerobic bacteria and it is normally found in throughout mitochondria. It is capsulated while Neisseria meningitis cause meningococcal meningitis, which is also a gram negative aerobic cocci encapsulated bacteria, and most of the cases, 10% person, this meningitis is basically the patient are benign. Besides these two bacteria, another type of meningitis is also common, which is associated with the pneumonia. It is due to the infectious agent Streptococcus pneumonia, pneumococcal meningitis, and about 70% of the people are healthy and nasopharyngeal carriers. It is most common in children and mortality rate is very high in this case. However, it can easily be prevented by the vaccination. Then viral meningitis. Viral meningitis is similar to the bacterial meningitis, with the difference is that the symptoms of the viral meningitis are mild and bacterial meningitis symptoms are usually more severe. Viral meningitis, several viruses are involved. These are non-polio enteroviruses, mumps viruses, herpes viruses, like Epstein-Barr viruses or varicella zoster virus, measles virus, influenza virus, arbovirus, etc., etc. The symptoms also vary depending upon the age of the patient, and some viral and bacterial meningitis are also contagious, and they can be transmitted by coughing, sneezing, or close contact. Beside other reasons, there are fungal meningitis and parasitic meningitis, and these are the type of fungi and parasites which can lead to the meningitis. Bacteria and viruses are basically produces acute condition, while fungi lead to the chronic meningitis. And direct contact meningitis, either due to the direct contact of the skull to the pathogens, or it may be due to the transmission of the microorganism through the blood, that is hematogenic. These are some general symptoms of the meningitis depending upon the type and the age of the patient. For example, in case of viral meningitis and the patient age is if the patient is infant, then symptoms is the symptoms like decreased appetite, irritability, sleepiness, and lethargy and fever. Usually seizures are, in case of complications, seizures will produce. While in case of adult, there may be headaches, there may be stiff neck, seizures, and lethargy. In case of bacterial meningitis, symptoms are more or less same, with the appearance of the rash on the whole body. And while in case of fungal meningitis, there is no rash. If meningitis is not treated, it can lead to the severe complications, like it can damage the brain, it can build up a lot of fluid between the skull and the brain, lead to the subdural effusion or hydrocephalus condition, and it may lead to a permanent hearing loss, or it may lead to this severe type of seizures. How it is diagnosed? The patient condition itself, the patient symptom itself explain that there is a chance by diagnosing meningitis start with a health history and physical exams, like presence of fever, increased heart rate, neck stiffness, reduced consciousness will show a picture that the patient may suffer from the meningitis. However, doctor will order a lumbar puncture and to perform to examine the cerebrospinal fluid. It can examine the blood culture, urine culture. It can they can order for the examination of chest X-ray. CSF should be examined for the neutrophil presence, glucose, the concentration of the glucose and protein, and CT scan of the head should be performed, as well as there should be a gram staining or spatial staining and the culture identification of the cerebrospinal fluid. For the culture identification, specimen can be taken from either cerebrospinal fluid or the blood or from urine culture. There may be some blood tests can be performed, and these blood tests are basically performed for the detection of the inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, as well as to perform blood cultures. Furthermore, electrolyte concentration should be monitored too, as hyponatremia is common in case of bacterial meningitis. These are the results of the evaluation of the normal cerebrospinal fluid, and its appearance is clear and colorless. Volume is about 130 ml total volume. Rate of production is about 0.5 ml per minute, and its pressure is about 60 to 150 millimeter of water or Hg. However, in case of meningitis, this pressure may increase from 200 millimeter. Protein, normal protein present in the cerebrospinal fluid is from 15 to 45 mg. However, in case of meningitis, the protein concentration is above 45 mg per 100 ml. Glucose concentration, in case of bacterial meningitis, glucose concentration will decrease, will alter, and as bacteria start utilizing the glucose content in the of the cerebrospinal fluid, and there is decrease change in the concentration of the chloride. Only few lymphocytes are present per 1 microliter of the CSF. So, in case of increased number of lymphocytes or neutrophils, they lead to the different type of meningitis. Several type of meningitis can produce the following result. For example, in case of viral meningitis, about 2000 cells per microliter are present of WBCs. Predominantly, these are lymphocytes, and the concentration of glucose is normal, and however, the concentration of protein is greater than 150 mg per deciliter. You can see that protein, the upper limit of the protein is 45 milligram. However, it will increase up to 150 mg. So it also changed the color of the CSF, and now it is not a clear solution. It is somewhat translucent. In case of tuberculosis meningitis, cell count may present in 100 to 500 cells per microliter, and these are predominantly monocytes. Glucose concentration is less than 45 mg. In case of and the protein content is again in between 100 to 500 mg per deciliter, depending upon the inflammation, how much inflammation is already done. In case of fungal meningitis, results are predominantly lymphocytes are shown in CSF, and while in case of bacterial meningitis, predominantly neutrophils are present, and these are more in number. About 1000 to 2000 cells are present per microliter. Glucose concentration is less than 45 mg per deciliter, and again the protein content is high, and it is usually about more than 250 mg per deciliter. There are also two different signs which which doctor should observe, and these are carrying signs. One of these is carrying sign. In this carrying signs, in which the patient is lying in supine position, and when with the hip and knee is flexed to 90 degree. If the knee is flexed in 90 degree, the patient feel pain in the back, then it is the presence of the indication of the meningitis. Another sign is the Bunting sign, and a positive Bunting sign occur when there is when the flexion of the neck lead to the involuntary movement or involuntary flexion up of the knee and hip. Another finding is the patching of the skin, and this patching is basically due to the bacterial meningitis, and it lead to the infection and infection in the bloodstream, and it targets the cells around the capillaries. Damage to these cells lead to capillary damage and mild blood leaks in the tissue. This produces a faint pink, red or purple rash on the whole body. And this shows this also shows a severe type of the meningitis, and immediate treatment is required. This type of rash does not fade under the pressure, and it will still visible when the side of a clear drinking glass is pressed firmly against the skin. So a fever with a rash that does not fade under pressure is a medical emergency. Depending upon the type of the meningitis, several antibiotics, antifungal or antiviral are prescribed along the prescription of the steroid to suppress the inflammation, to stop the severe inflammation. The treatment plan should be discussed in a separate slide. For the prevention, there is a vaccine for several types of bacterial meningitis. So, vaccine is basically present for the bacterial meningitis. Meningococcal meningitis vaccine is available for. Man B vaccine is also available for several strain of the children under the age of 2, and those persons who live in dorms and have been not vaccinated in adolescence, and people live traveling to the countries where meningococcal disease is common are advised to have this type of vaccines. I hope you will find this video informative. Please like and subscribe this channel to keep updated. The treatment plan and case history will be discussed in a separate presentation. Thank you very much.